Well, this was my fourth attempt, but my previous attempt was in 2016. So I got selected in Indian Forest Service and I was allotted 17 batch. I gave this exam after a gap of 5 years, having worked inside the forest department, and I was relatively free in one of the postings I got in the last year. So I thought I should give it once more, and my wife was also preparing, so we thought we'll do it together. So that was the journey. So it will be like 4 years for civils, but a gap of 5 years in between. In the last year, as I told, the primary reason was because I was relatively free. Had I been in the field posting, I would not have got time for that. But then I thought that if my wife was also interested, so we thought that 1 year is nothing as compared to the next 30 years, so we should just give it once more. Motivation was just that a little on the scope side of the job, which I felt in Punjab was a little limited in terms of forestry. So had I not got selected, I would have continued it with proper determination. So there was no hardcore motivation like normally people have. I was more or less satisfied with the job of which I had earlier as well. I think my family's role is quite important, because had they not supported me, I would not have probably started it off again. I have a daughter also. She's 1.5 years old, and I think I did all my duties properly. Her vaccination records or her health facilities, whatever my responsibilities as a husband were, I was able to do that, but I had to sacrifice a lot of things like get-togethers and outings and everything. So their role is immense. Had my mother-in-law, she's also in Bathinda, not seen our daughter properly, we would not have probably given this attempt. So yes, I think it is not my sole exam, it is the exam of the entire family, on both my mother's side and also in-laws side. So yeah, I give my credit to them. I think you have to understand the syllabus first, and for that the syllabus has to be read, and then the previous year questions should be your initial stage. I mean, you should, even if you don't know anything about it, you should see what kind of questions are being asked. So once you get a 10-year paper ka summary that from this topic so you'll get an idea as to what is to be studied, rather than it is mostly the reverse psychology. You should reverse engineering, as we said. You should see what is being asked and then move towards that. So every topic, I mean, especially for sociology that I took because initially I had maths as an option. So for sociology I was a fresher. I realized that firstly there was less stress, and secondly because of a stable job, I think that kind of anxiety was not there. So for a fresh aspirant, I'd say that if you remain cheerful and you get the sources right, I mean, rather than just focusing on one source or one coaching, you should see the syllabus, see the previous year questions, and then make your strategy accordingly. Make a year strategy, like 5-month strategy, then 6-month strategy. It's a whole lot of a thing, I can't cover it in one go, but I think broadly it should be that you should know what you have to study first and then go for sources. So that is quite important for this. It really helps. I mean, if I could do it in one optional, and I scored a really good score, I think, 286 in sociology, which is a good score, and that too in 1 year. So I think my strategy would probably have been right. That is why. So I think for first timers, if you get the strategy right in the first 10, 15, 20 days, then probably it will help you a lot. Primarily, that was not getting marks in maths, because when I chose, I was in college. I mean, I had just passed out and gave prelims, and I cleared prelims. I took maths because I thought I had done my graduation and post-graduation in it. But later, it's like a chakravyuh, you just fall into that trap. I was not getting that kind of passionate energy towards doing maths. So it was always like, thoda reh gaya, chalo agli baar kar lenge. So it just, I could not complete the cycle. And the way maths is to be prepared, I was not too much interested. I was more interested in reading GS, and I've seen how people who scored about 350 marks, the effort that they put in, I had not put in that. So it is basically that. And now that I had to give it another attempt, so I first looked at the syllabus, and I was always interested in reading about it but could not. So without passion, I think you cannot do your optional. That is my interest, and passion of doing the optional is the primemost thing for the entire journey. That's it. Interview is quite important, because I have seen certain transcripts where they've scored really well in mains, but ended up in 150s or something, and they could not clear the exam or got like quite a rank which is towards the other end. So interview is quite important, and we should give mocks. Definitely we should give about 7-8 mocks You should learn from your mocks, and it is about the entire personality. It is not about just a few answers. Even if you do not know about 4 to 5 answers, that's okay. Even if you don't know about 8 answers, that is also okay. People have scored above 200 even then. It's not about knowing, it is about the entire package that you put in front of them. So there are a lot of things, but I think you should focus on that aspect. Personality aspect is more important. The way you answer, the way you say no, the way you say I do not know, or you would not make a guess or make a calculated guess. All those things are there. So it's about that in the personality test. For KSG, I gave one mock interview, and I think the inputs that I got from the distinguished panel members were quite helpful, because one particular thing that they pointed out was that maybe I am a little arrogant. Not arrogant, but a position of authority, maybe because of my job, is coming in front of them. So I made sure that something like that is not there in the main panel. So I think that probably would have helped.